What's going on, YouTube? This is the Arizona Bladesman here with finally my review of the Barong Pula. But before I get into that review, funny thing is, yesterday I tried to do this this video, but I kept on getting hung up. I did 5 takes on trying to do this video. At times I'd be on a roll, I'd be doing real good, and all of a sudden my mind it would just take this mental dump, and then I just sit there like, what the hell's next? But anyway, I hope everyone's doing good. I'm doing all right. It's just been busy. That's why I haven't put out this video yet. But anyway, let's get down to it. So today, I finally have the Barong Pula from Kriscurlery. It's got a 14-inch blade of 5160 high carbon steel that is differentially hard heat treated, meaning that the edge is the hardest part of this blade and the rest of it is just a little bit softer, kind of much like a katana. And I don't know if you could see it or not or pick it up, but it does have almost like a slight hamon. I know that this camera is not doing it justice. Sorry about my long nails. I know I need to trim them. But that's what it is for the blade. 5160 high carbon steel, differentially treated, 14 inches. And also, if you look on the spine of this blade, it starts off right here at the base of the handle. Starts off a little thick, and then it goes into a distal taper the farther it goes up to the point. And that's for, balance and weight and everything like that, so you can be able to wield this barong properly. Now, moving on to the handle. This is a 6.5 inch handle by my measurements. It is made of tropical hardwood, and it has a brass ferrule. Now, something unique about this barong's handle is that it is a cylindrical handle, or meaning it's round. Now, I know a lot of people tend to kind of like look down or frown upon round handles, but that's only if the blade is a straight blade, like a European medieval arming sword, that kind of an example. Because what happens if you have a round handle with a straight blade and you go and you strike a surface, the handle will tend to turn in your hand. But if you have a blade such as this, which right here, it is actually a recurve. So, and there are actually other blades out there that have a round handle, and this style blade, like I believe it's the Burmese Dow, that actually has a round handle and a recurve blade such as this. But anyway, back to the handle. It is a 6.5 inch handle, hardwood, brass ferrule, but also, if you look at it, it's a little bit longer than most barongs, and that's good for 2 reasons. One, you could grip it up closer for more toe-to-toe action or close range fighting. But if you want to add some length to your weapon, all you got to do is slide your hand down and grip the bottom part where the pommel is, and you have now a longer weapon. Sorry, I'm trying to get this blade into the shot here. So all you got to do, like I said, just grip it right here, and now you have more of a long range or a longer sword. Now, what I really like about Filipino swords or Filipino weapons, in general, is that they take elements of nature. Whether it's like plants, animals, because the Philippines itself is a very tropical environment. So they got a lot of vegetation, a lot of animal life. So if you look again at the blade, this is a banana leaf shaped blade, which of course comes from, you know, the shape of the banana leaf. And the pommel right here is in the shape of a cockatoo, or it's pretty much, you know, a tropical bird, a parrot. So they really add to or emphasize elements of nature in these weapons. Excuse me. Now, the barong is, you know, pretty much a sword, but in some areas of the Philippines, if you guys ever have seen Bob the Metal Guy, he's one of my subscribers. If you have a chance, go check out his channel. So you could say this is pretty much a shout out to Bob. So Bob, this is for you. His family, well, he's not Filipino, but his wife's family is from the Philippines, and I believe they are from the southern Philippines, which is Mindanao. And Bob, if I got that wrong, I'm sorry. You know, you could kick my butt in the comments section whenever you get the chance. But anyway, a barong over there is not actually this right here. It's not a sword. They refer to something like this as a bolo. So, I mean, that's how they refer to a machete, a sword. They refer to calling it a bolo. But a barong over in that part of the Philippines is kind of like a really nice shirt that you put on for ceremonies and, you know, stuff like that. So the barong has, you know, depending on where you're from, I guess, has two different meanings. So I covered this blade right here. Oh, and one other thing. I said that the blade is 14 inches long. To give it a just and fair comparison in size, I compared it to my 1909 bolo knife from Madras Arsenal. And in the description with that one, it said it was 15 inches, but I measured it, and it is an even 14 inches. So, if you can see in a frame or not, right here, let me just try to line them up. They are pretty much the same size. Now, also, they have the same size blade, but there are differences between these two. One, this is a sword, and this right here, even though it's the same size, this is not a sword. This is actually a knife, because looking at the handle scales, the shape of the handle, you know, and the rivets, it's full tang, it's considered a knife. So if you look at a lot of your kitchen knives and chef's knives and everything like that, they have pretty much almost this shape right here. So this is a knife, and this is a sword. But they have the same blade length. So anyway, I'm not really discussing the 1909. Still discussing this badass blade right here. But anyway, I was gonna do a cutting demonstration, but you guys seen how this cuts already. I mean, I've cut through. I mean, it just sails through water bottles. I've cut hard targets. I've cut soft targets, and this thing is just a beast. It just pretty much chews up whatever I throw at it. But I will be doing another video, pretty much maybe cutting up some wood, cutting up some cordage, you know, maybe doing a Donnie B all day test, you know, find some old vacuum cleaner hose. But anyway, this knife is badass. And unfortunately, you can't get this anymore. I got this, even though it's from Kriscurlery, I got this via Cult of Athena. And at the time, I had bought it for like, $95, including shipping. So that was, you know, a little over $100 for something like this. I mean, very reliable. It's built like a tank. I mean, it's got great steel. Just, you know, there's beautiful in its simplicity. Do I recommend this? Absolutely. But unfortunately, you cannot get this anymore. I'm sure you could probably find it online somewhere at Sword Buyers Forum or something like that, but you really can't order this anymore. So this right here, I'm not going to part with. But anyway, this right here, the Barong Pula, from Kriscurlery. Now, looking at the Scabbard, it's a nice brown, pretty much hardwood Scabbard. It's about 14 inches, you know, same length as the blade. But now when I put the Barong in its Scabbard, the one bad part is that it's your average Scabbard, but there's a lot of rattle and play, and there's absolutely, well, very little tension. I mean, you have to put it at the right position. See now, but if you shake it, it comes right out. So this does a good job of keeping the blade covered, you know, from the elements, and so you don't hurt yourself. But I'm sure, you know, there could be a better Scabbard, in other words. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, I highly recommend the Barong Pula. If you can find one online somewhere, great. I suggest you pick it up. And just, you know, don't trade it, don't sell it if you get it. These are hard. I mean, I don't want to say that they're rare, but they're hard to come by. And one other thing I like to add too, I almost forgot, that on the brass ferrule in the description, it says it has a pin. Now I did check into it. This is from Kriscurlery, but I'm thinking that this was probably maybe like the first run when they started making these, and they didn't add the pin in there. So this blade is just secured with the epoxy in there, so it doesn't have that. It just has that chemical bond. It doesn't have that that mechanical bond from the pin like a lot of the other Kriscurlery swords do. But you know, I just wanted to make a note on that. So if you find one with a pin, excellent. You know, it's a little bit better quality, as in retaining the blade or the tang inside the handle. Now, like I said, I've hit hard targets, I've hit soft targets. There's no loosening at all of the blades, so this thing was put together just right. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this review. Finally did it. You know, I just, I essentially just let it flow. Kind of, gave you a description on what was going on before the review. So I think that pretty much helps too. Is just kind of like doing a little ramble, and then, saying, how your week's been or what's been going on. Just a little bit. Now, you don't have to tell, I'm not trying to tell my life story, but I think that helps. But anyway, I'm digressing. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Until next time, take care, everyone.